Hey guys, so I wanted to jump back in. Hey guys, so I wanted to jump back in and talk about another property profile, and that is Cheapies. Hey guys, I wanted to jump into some more property profiling. Hey guys, so I wanted to jump into some more property profiling and have a look at Cheapies. Cheapies are one of my favorite categories of properties to purchase in because they often present a whole lot of unique challenges and require some creative ideas to make them work. They're often cheap for a reason, but we can here in Australia buy real estate for under $100,000. We can often find some really great yields, some great flip opportunities, and often a lot of these properties can be a great part of your portfolio. So let's jump in and have a look at a few cheapies that I've found this year. Okay, cheapies. So where are we finding these places? So we're finding them everywhere. This could be in a region that's outside of a major city where maybe the area's a little bit sketchy. It's not so good of a neighborhood. So property prices have been suppressed for a long time and they haven't really moved in decades. But maybe in recent years, unemployment rates dropping, the area's looking a bit nicer. There's a couple of houses on the street that have been renovated and things are looking up, could present a really good buy at a really cheap price. There could be another region where there was one employer that dominated the region and then they left and property prices crashed, but the area has been looking stronger lately, more industries coming back. It's a little more diverse, rentals are really strong, and you can get this really cheap property because these prices just fell after the employer left and the market hasn't really recovered, but they still could present a very good buy and they can present some really amazing yields as well. So the pros, so we can get some ridiculously high yields amongst the cheapies. Sometimes you can find a strong rental market where the selling market's been very weak or very suppressed, and you can get some really great returns. They're great for renovators. Often they're cheap because the owner can't be bothered doing the renovations that it's required to get it back into renting condition. So that provides a lot of opportunity. Can be a great stepping stone if you can't borrow any more money, if you're stuck not being able to borrow another $300,000 to buy in your blue chip region, then maybe a property like this can be a good stepping stone to future lending and getting that funding down the line. They definitely do require some creativity and they're great for trend spotters. As I mentioned before, a lot of these markets have been suppressed for a very long time, but that doesn't mean they're going to be forever. If you can spot the trend, then you can get in and into a great position. Cons, there are lots of cons, but bad region, remote areas, unique problems, you name it. Okay, so here is a 4-bed, 1-bath house for $150,000. It's cheap because it's in a small farm town in like inland New South Wales. And so there's never really been too much of a demand for property in the region. So property prices have stayed low. But in recent time, there's been a fair bit of government infrastructure and government spending in the region. Industry is doing really well and the real estate market's getting really busy and there's a lot of hype around the area. So it definitely presents a good opportunity now as it looks like the trend is changing for this region and rentals have been strong for quite some time. You can get a really great rental yield here. You can get a pretty large block of land for a cheap purchase. And you're cash flowing nearly 10 grand a year, which is crazy. Okay, so we have a unit here, which you read that right, $30,000 in Australia, but it has strata issues. So these properties do pop up every now and then where strata fees are too high, maybe it's not managed that well, and essentially the property's not really working for you. It's not providing an income, it's not going up in value, so no one really wants it, and it just gets passed around and the price goes lower and lower and lower. But there is some strategies that we can use a property like this. One, for instance, would be that I know that this unit is quite dated, but similar units in the same complex that have had a small renovation are going for $45,000. So if you went up here with, say, a $5,000 budget and you were quite savvy and you did a nice makeover of this small apartment, then you'd probably create about $10,000 to $15,000 worth of value. You could probably up the rent a little higher as well to about $250 per week from $200 a week, which it is now. And then you could go to the bank and you could say, can I have 80% loan on this property? Essentially, they'll give you back all of the money that you put into it, your purchase price and your renovation costs will give it all back. And you've got this unit essentially for free. It's not really giving you any income. It's not going to appreciate too quickly in value, but it's a free unit, so it's better than nothing. Not a bad little buy, I think. Okay, so here we have a typical example of a suppressed market. So this area is quite nice, quite a big town, quite a nice population. Business is going very well, but the property price crashed about 12 years ago. It just hasn't really recovered, but is starting to show signs of recovery now. For $100,000, you can get a nice, decent-sized one-bedroom unit near the beach with a very strong rental return. And it's quite a nice buy. It can certainly provide a lot more serviceability to your portfolio when you go back to the bank to get further funding, so you can do different kinds of deals. So that pretty much sums up Cheapies. They can be a great buy. I do love this category, lots of creativity, and it can certainly be a good part of your portfolio. How can 360 Buyers Agents help you? 2 ways. If you're at all interested in real estate investing and want to get your hands on one of these specialty properties, then give us a call. We'll have a chat about strategy and talk about your options. 2, if you'd like to purchase your principal place of residence between the Sunshine Coast and northern New South Wales, then our team can help you access off-market properties, making sure that you get a good deal, buying the right region at the right price.